Get ready. 3 seconds to go. Start. There are three elements to this. One, the fares for private trains will be decided by the private concessionaire only. The Railway Ministry had clarified last year in its tender for 151 private trains to all the interested bidders. This means the prices will be determined by the market, which in turn means there is indeed a possibility of higher fares for these trains. However, the second factor is that the operation of private trains is being considered independent to function of regular passenger trains. The ministry has clarified on several occasions that this would not impact regular fares. The third factor is the plan to levy a user fee as part of train fares as the railways plans to raise funds for redeveloping railway stations and modernizing infrastructure. The user fee to be levied by the national transporter for the first time is in line with the user development fee UDF paid by air passengers. UDF is charged at various airports and the rate varies from city to city. In a press conference last year, then Railway Board Chairman V.K. Yadav said, "We are going to keep a very small amount for the user charge." Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant too said private investment in Indian railways will introduce competition and lead to fare reductions in the future. We want railways to drive India's growth story. In countries like Japan and South Korea, the growth story was also driven by railway infrastructure. We are confident going forward that railways will contribute 1 to 2% towards India's growth, he said at the same conference. Experts from the private sector believe that the government has both sound rationale for opening up the sector and a way of cushioning the majority of passengers from fare hikes. Such a move may entail with reduced travel time for passenger trains due to freight traffic moving to dedicated corridors and improved amenities and travel comforts. Private passenger trains are likely to compete primarily with budget air travel, with such trains likely to operate only on select routes. The government would continue to operate trains for the cost-conscious segments. Arindam Guha, Deloitte India's partner, explained. He added that even with regard to modernized stations, much of the investment was likely to be recouped through the development of adjoining land parcels, insulting a large section of passengers from any steep increase in entry fees. But this has not deterred the opposition, which is concerned about the larger design and implications of the incremental shifts underway in Indian Railways. Several opposition parties during the budget session of Parliament criticized the government's plan for privatization in the rail sector. They alleged that privatization would favor only a few corporates and lead to a substantial rise in fares. Union Railway Minister Piyush Goyal stated that Indian Railways will never be privatized but added that private investment should also be encouraged to enhance passenger services and improve infrastructure. Let me make it clear the Indian Railways will never be privatized. Indian Railways is India's asset and will continue to remain so and belong to the people. If a railway line is installed, should there not be the need to ensure good services to the passengers and higher speed trains, and in that if any private investment comes, I feel it would be welcomed, Goel said in Parliament earlier this month. In a written response to a Lok Sabha question on whether the government received representation from railway employees and representative bodies objecting to the move to allow the private sector to operate 151 trains, the ministry admitted both the recognized federations All India Railway Men's Federation AIRF and National Federation of Indian Railway Men's NFIR had initially represented against the decision to permit operation of passenger trains through public-private partnership PPP mode. Thereafter, several meetings have been held with the federations to explain the rationale behind this PPP initiative and the fact that the existing passenger train services shall not be affected by the operation of passenger train services through PPP mode, the ministry said. It clarified these services to be operated through PPP mode shall be additional trains and are aimed at increasing the availability of train services to the public. As such, the interest of employees working for the operation of existing train services over Indian Railways will not be affected. Global comparison. As India debates the entry of the private sector in the railways, it is instructive to look at other examples for a comparative perspective. China's rail network, the second largest in the world and the longest in high speed rail, is run by a state owned company, the China State Railway Group Company Limited. The company was created in March 2013 after China decided to dissolve its railway ministry and convert it into a joint stock company under its finance ministry in 2019. In 2014, the government began pushing Chinese rail projects towards the private sector. The Communist Party of China subsequently drafted a reform master plan seeking to let market play a decisive role in fostering growth and creating jobs. In 2017, the China Railway Corporation said it would spin off some businesses to allow private investors to participate. Full stop.